Tangent TV. The other side of the world. Touring Santiago, Santiago Centro, Pereira Palace.
Hello our friends, today we're going to visit one of the governmental places, Pereira Palace. The place where the new Chile's constitution is being written since July 4th, 2021 after a powerful decision of the 2020 plebiscite to change it without the involvement of any politician. Let's come in. From 1793, this palace worked as both a farm and a vineyard. However, in 1872, this place was bought by the winemaking entrepreneur, a politician and lawyer, Luis Pereira Cotapos, who wanted to spice this place up with a coloring building in a dull, deserted neighborhood in the center of Santiago Centro. The extravagant and ambitious design was ruled by one of the best French architects, Lucien Hénault. This palace was perceivably used by the family, its several children especially who turned successors next generations. In 1909, Luis Pereira died, and his widow, Carolina Iñiguez Vicuña, kept this palace until 1932. Here she died in after 2 generations, and this palace was set on sale and bought by Santiago's Roman Catholic Archdiocese. So they set this place as the public employees' saving bank between 1940 and 1950. Then this place was rented by Chile's Ministries of Education. Place used as Liceo Tres de Niñas, the girls' high school number 3, between 1950 and 1968, period at which infrastructure's damages started to be seen. In 1969, Liceo 26 of the high school number 26 was settled in this palace until July 8, 1971. Day one of the giant earthquakes shook in Chile's central zone and caused several damages. From October 1972, this building was used for meetings of students' organizations like Santiago's Secondary School Student Federation, FESIS, Santiago's Industry and Technical Student Federation, FEITES, Civic Left-Wing Student Federation, FIEP, and Revolutionary Student Front, FER. All until the 1973 coup d'etat, where the military government sold the palace to San Luis real estate agency, so the letters have left them for commercial purposes, and it ended up more damaged. In 1985, this palace was about to be knocked down after a giant earthquake shook on March 3rd that year. By 1990, after the end of Chile's military government, many organizations wanted to use the nearly demolished place like the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the Managing and Regional Development Deputy Secretary, or Chile Management of Police provided from the project. Some different restoration projects were handed in 4 times, projects that were objected to and ignored. However, the state bought this place and took restoration projects whose design was made in 2014 and totally restored between 2016 and 2019 and guided by the Chilean architects Cecilia Puga, Paula Velasco and Alberto Moleto. The restoration project was based on the renovation of gypsum whitewash, wood and metal from the estate to each room, stucco, lining and the original coloring, ochre, white, grey, damask, discovered by the restoration specialists Luis Cercos, Ignacio Lapaya and Constanza Correa. This project worked as a school for workers of architecture, restoration, serigraph, sculpture and bricklaying. This new piece of work consists of a modern concrete infrastructure with 5 floors and 2 underground rooms that imply to some 4,675 meters squares, a site for offices of the patrimonial institutionality of the Ministry of Cultures, Arts and Patrimony. As of July 4th, 2021, this palace is being used as the headquarters of the Constitutional Convention, writing the new Constitution of Chile to replace the 1981. The main mission of this palace is to openly promote a net environment like visual arts, folklore, heritages, patrimonies, etc. That's why this building also works with offices from the Ministry of Culture, Art and Patrimony, MINCAP, Cultural Patrimony Deputy Secretary, National Service of Patrimony and the Board of National Monuments. This is the hall where people and constituents can have a rest while observing those harmonious palm trees and sitting on those beautiful and marble seats. Oh, this is paradise!
Even though we are on the Caribbean islands, nobody stick to it. All for changing this constitution.
In addition, we can find a library, a modern library at which we can find traditional books and digital ones that we have to scan the QR of the book we want to read with a tablet or smartphone you scan the QR code with. Wow, we can also find all the objects restored, fixed and preserved ones from all the Luis Pereira's family generations. Yes, from documents to fans. We also find a room in which we can find all the elements about Chile's constitution, like the further Chilean 6 constitutions were signed with, a long list of all Chilean constitutions hanging on the ceiling, paintings of some heads of state, paintings that mark Chile's history, pictures of history facts. Wow! A Walkman with Los Prisioneros cassette, El Baile de los que Sobran, a 1986 hit about the social discrimination in the Chilean education, and it's powerfully listened again on all Latin Americans in 2019's Chilean Spring. A radio and a typewriter in the 1960s during the end of the left-wing party, Partido Liberal. The government meeting for the peace that led to 2020 plebiscite to offer us a changed 1980 constitution. The 2020 plebiscite ballots, the one on which we wanted a new constitution or not, and the one on which we wanted with only constituents or with members of parliament. A picture of Navy people like Mapuches. Wow, too many things. Here we can find the backyard, a place where catering, press conferences, and other similar activities are carried out. A very modern architectural design.
And
the
cafe.
A place to eat to have a break.
A cafe like the ones in Vienna downtown.
Or the beautiful ones in Berlin. The service is offered by the avant-garde vegetarian modern cafe La Huérfana. Here we can find several types of food, pastries, candies, coffee, tea, lunch, chocolate, all types of dressing, sandwiches, cookies, beverages.
And I want beer.
This glass of ginger ale tastes pretty delicious. The ideal to freshen up with.
This pizza is a gut spread. Even with a dish, napkin, knife, and fork made of recycled materials. We must take care of our only home.
Yes, Sacramentina pizza, made with a whole wheat dough of handmade multi-seed, mozzarella cheese, onions coated with caramel, natural tomato and mushroom sauce.
Delicious!
We've come to an end, our friends. Did you like this place? Does this video move you to visit it?
Book your visit on the page. Avoid attending in it if diagnosed of COVID-19 or close contact. Face masks are compulsory.
It's open for us from Tuesday to Friday as long as Santiago Centro is on stage 2 or higher. We're here at 1531 Huérfano Street, Santiago Centro, near Santa Ana Metro Station, lines 2 and 5. See you, our friends. Bye bye.
Piangen TV.